Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya 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 Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram 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 Om राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री 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 राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय 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 जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय 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 राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय 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 जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
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 ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
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 ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय शरीला शरीला
Ram Jaya Ram
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम राम जय राम जय जय राम
Will we put it later on then?
जय जय राम
Chapter table 5 feet. Right side. Right side. Chapter table 5 feet.
Video is hanging. Committee.
Something is hanging. What is hanging? Video is hanging. We are connected to this. This is HDMI. This is one connected to this.
What is the latest one which I made? No?
The latest one is the other one only with Swamiji Maharaj. This is the old one that Swamiji gave me in the morning.
Gita book?
Gita book, I'll bring it.
No, one minute.
I'll bring it in a minute.
Now, here it is. I don't want. For the past so many days, in the sloka number 46, I want that another Gita book, not this. Let me see whether let me see whether this is. And chapter number 46, chapter number 1 of sloka 46. What is the last word uttered by Arjuna, and after that he sat down. So the meaning is, it would be better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra armed with weapons kill me in battle while I am unarmed and unresisting. So the more we go deep into it, it is something like an escapism, no? I want to escape. So that means overpowering attachment leads to escapism. This is how the point comes. Arjuna, he knew very well with whom he is going to fight. He had come to the Kurukshetra war. Not that these people are unknown to him, not that he did not know against whom he has to wage war against. All these things are known to him. But because of his attachment, now he wants to somehow go away from that. That means in our life, overpowering attachment leads to escapism. We look back to our own life or the life of the one with whom we are living. When do we do that? Over-attachment leads to escapism. So first chapter, we were wondering, we were not getting anything from first chapter. There is one more we were able to locate. You have got that? You have got that? With you? No. You have not brought your this thing. No, don't worry. No.
Which one?
No. 1 minute. You go to the email.
Oh, we lost connection.
I have sent to Chandrananda.
They sent here this one?
Chandrananda.
Sent items, no? Sent items. Chandrananda. Yeah. Which sloka Swamiji?
First is 46th sloka.
46.
No, first in here, her case, it was 20. Yeah.
20th, huh?
Not 20.
20.
Not 20.
46, huh?
No, 1 minute. No, don't be in a hurry. Akanksha. 11 or something. 32. Wait. Slowly go, no?
22.
All are excited.
Yes, Swamiji.
Nakankshe Vijayam Krishnam Natajajam Nasukhina. That is the one. I do not covet victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasure, Govinda. Of what use will kingdom or luxuries or even life be to thus? That. Oh. Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna Natarajyam Sukhina. Krishna, I do not covet victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasures. Govinda, of what use will kingdom or luxuries or even life be to us? This is our escapism, no? Immediately you say that. So for that, we have to go back to our own life.
Swamiji is saying they cannot see Swamiji's face. Alt tab. Now you can see. Swamiji, press control and increase that round thing, no?
Okay, this chapter number 1, we will come back to later because there is some confusion somewhere. I am unable to locate. So we will try to move from 1 to 1. There is there 1 to 20, no? 20 alla na? What is? How did 20 come?
Swamiji, we made the corrections in this one, no? Here we put this. The point is there.
That is not here, no.
No, only the point is here, which we put here.
We want all the details, you know.
Alt tab. Yeah, this one.
Today we had somebody there till 3:40 and we were in the midst of that, so we have not yet prepared well. So better we will not concentrate on this first chapter. Tomorrow we will again come back. We were able to get one sloga where he says, you know, something like escaping from the responsibility because of my attachment. I don't want anything. I will better be. That is what he says in 32. I do not covet victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasures. Govinda, what use will kingdom or luxuries or even life to be to us? This is how he justifies. So when we read that, what came to our mind was overpowering attachment leads to escapism. And the example is, how do you get the caterpillar?
The student example is over here only at the bottom.
Where?
Here. Here. Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, Shloka 46. Overpowering attachment.
I'll just read out. In this verse, Arjuna, overwhelmed by attachment and grief, expresses a desire to avoid fighting, even if it means being killed unarmed, unresisting. The shloka highlights how excessive attachment weakens resolve and creates a tendency to escape from one's duty, leading to inaction and confusion. Very important point in our life. There must have been many such incidents where this would have happened, or we would have witnessed happening in somebody's life. Arjuna, overwhelmed by attachment and grief, expresses a desire to avoid fighting, even if it means being killed, unarmed, unresisting. This shloka highlights how excessive attachment weakens resolve and creates a tendency to escape from one's duty, leading to inaction and confusion. Attachment binds the mind to people, situations, and outcomes. When this attachment is excessive, it clouds judgment, making even righteous action seem undesirable. Arjuna, deeply attached to his relatives, feels powerless and prefers to abandon the battlefield rather than face the challenge. The caterpillar weaves a cocoon as part of its natural transformation. But imagine if it becomes too attached to the warmth and safety of the cocoon, fearing the unknown world outside. Instead of breaking free and spreading its wings, it remains inside, escaping its true potential. However, by avoiding its destined evolution, it suffocates within its own shell, missing the freedom and beauty of flight. Similarly, overpowering attachment, whether to comfort, relationship, or material things, can make a person avoid necessary change, leading to escapism instead of growth. True transformation comes when we let go and step into the vastness of life with trust. The student gets an opportunity to go to a prestigious university, but fears leaving the comfort of home. The attachment to family makes them anxious about managing alone, so they find excuses to stay back, claiming the courses is not right, the city is too far, and they are not ready. Instead of embracing growth, they escape into their comfort zone, missing out on a life-changing experience. Similarly, when attachment becomes overpowering, it creates fear of change, leading to escapism rather than progress. True growth happens when we refine attachment into love and detachment, caring deeply but without fear or moving forward. A relatable example is a student who, fearing failure and disappointing their parents, decides to skip an important exam. The fear of loss of emotional burden makes them run away instead of facing the situation with clarity and courage. Refinement of thought requires recognizing when attachment is influencing decisions. Instead of reacting emotionally, one must pass thoughts through the inner refinery, questioning whether the hesitation is due to attachment or true wisdom. For instance, in daily life, responsibilities, whether at work, family, or society, might feel overwhelming due to personal biases and attachments. The refining process helps in realigning actions with dharma, ensuring that choices are made with clarity, not on emotional weakness. Something on which we have to, all of us have to keep on thinking. So first chapter also we have got. Yes.
Swamiji, can I also share something on first chapter? Swamiji has prepared also. Swamiji has prepared something
speaking of the first chapter.
To first chapter.
Yeah, share Sakshi will share it. Okay.
Which sloka?
Which sloka? I'm sharing my screen. I have. She wants to share it on screen. She wants to share her screen. We'll stop sharing so she can start sharing. She will share her screen. That we can show everybody also.
She's done a lot.
No, Sakshi sharing something. Yeah, we can see it clearly. We can see it clearly.
Chapter 1 represents the sorrow, distress and grief, or the dark night, Amavasya of the soul, a stage where a seeker like Arjuna feels overwhelmed by doubt, fear and confusion. This turmoil precedes enlightenment or the full moon day of the soul in chapter 18 and is itself a form of yoga, a necessary step. Arjuna's reluctance to fight mirrors the spiritual seeker's struggle with reality. As emotions often overpower reason, the ego, driven by senses and attachments, clouds judgment, trapping one in vicious circle of worldly aspirations, disguised as spirituality, a false renunciation. So in 47, yeah. एवमुक्त्वार्जना सांख्ये रथोपस्थ उपाविशद विसृज्य सशरं पापं शोक संविघ्न मानसा. Speaking thus, Arjuna cast aside his bow and arrows, sank into the seat of his chariot, his mind in distress and overwhelmed with grief. Sarvadharman, this is the last one. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashuta. Abandoning all varieties of dharma and simply surrender unto me alone, I shall liberate you from all sinful actions. Do not fear. So these are all now taken from different. Our pattern is different, Sakshi Ben.
Reference to chapter 1, sloka number 39.
Wait. Sakshi Ben, you know. You ask, tell her now.
Sakshi, continue. Yes. So Swamiji, I wanted to showcase spiritual seeker journey from attachment to surrender. And for this, Swamiji, for chapter 1, in terms of nature, I would think about only Amavasya and Purnima, and that is why I have this chapter, where Arjuna, he cast aside his bow in the sense he has a false sense of renunciation. It is clouded by his emotions and ego, but then the enlightenment, the Purnima, happens in the last chapter. So it's like throughout the Gita, Lord Krishna is enlightening Arjuna, and in the last throughout the Gita we talked about different yoga, everything, and in the last chapter, in chapter 18, the final his teaching is that you leave everything and surrender everything unto me. That is the reason to depict Purnima, full moon day. I have that is why I copy pasted this sloka number 66, and also Arjun's surrender, which shows how he felt enlightened, because now when he says that I am situated in knowledge and free from doubts, he is now completely surrendering. Initially in chapter 1, he had this false sense of renunciation, which he thought that it is a renunciation, but it was the presence of God and not the presence of God. And now in chapter 18, in sloka
clear or not. Swamiji, was she clear enough? She's asking whether she was clear enough. What she
Okay. This aspect we have covered in the introduction. You remember, in the introductory portion. Of course, the only thing is we talked about the first sloka in the first chapter and this last sloka. First sloka, when he says my sons and my Pandu, that means the whole thing started. This crisis started because of me and mine. And wherever God is with us, yatra Yogeshwara Krishna tatra patro. That means, the Yogeshwara Krishna stands for God who is within. Arjuna stands for the me sense of individuality. So whenever when there is a subservience to that ideal, then everywhere there will be success. So in that connection we have mentioned, but this also we will start thinking and include it. We will include this, the theme contained in the introduction. Now we are taking up one chapter, one sloka from one chapter, and try to understand how through a relatable example drawn from Mother Nature as well as from the society, so that it doesn't.
Swamiji, but what is the central idea in the doctrine expounded by Sri Krishna in the Gita in the first chapter?
He said, what is the central theme expounded? Uncle, one second.
Resistance to evil is the main idea.
He feels that the resistance to evil is the main theme of the first chapter. Resistance to evil is the main theme of the first chapter.
Resistance to
evil.
We'll think about it. It is not evil, It is not evil. It is the duty, You can.
I mean, the central idea has been said by the Machine.
We have to think about it because it has come to you now, your mind. We are trying to pick out one sloka and try to understand which sloka you are. Which sloka?
39.
39.
Chapter number 1, 39.
39 sloka.
Because the Arjun's mind that is cloud and emotions, even the sense of evil that Arjun is expounding about, it is more of a blabber, it is this sense of evil. It actually doesn't make any sense. It is all a false sense of evil. It is all the arguments that he is facing.
Yeah.
I can't follow.
She's saying it is just a false sense of evil. It's not. Arjuna is in a distressed state, so he's just blabbering at that point. It's not really evil, but it's just a false sense of evil.
Yes.
Active resistance to evil. Active resistance to evil.
According to uncle, it is active resistance to evil.
Anyway, you try to develop it. Each one is prompted, Nothing is wrong or right. Nothing is wrong or right. Relate this to our life, We are not worried about what happened in Kurukshetra. It is of no use to us. Today in our field, how does it help us? This is what we are trying to. In what way we can interpret it in today's life? We are not worried. What happened 5,000 years ago?
Whatever the evils are coming in our day-to-day life, we have to resist it.
He says that whatever evil comes our way in our day-to-day life, we must resist it. That is what he feels is the learning from the chapter.
Okay, start thinking about it. It might lead us to something. There is no rights and wrong. That is how the prompting comes to you. You develop it and see whether you can relate it to our day-to-day life. How do we resist the evil when it comes? Who is now naming it as evil? Who says it is evil? And then how do I manage? You go back to your own.
Swamiji, that is the relativity comes. That is why I will how to take it.
That is where responsibility comes.
Okay, then we don't want any philosophy, no. We want some example. Through example, we try to understand. Through example, either from Mother Nature or from society. Otherwise, it will be academic. But when we try to understand it through example, then it becomes closer to our life. Because we are not interested in the.
Padmama wants to say something. Yes, Padmama.
Swamiji.
Padmama was
Swami.
Tell me. Come to the point,
Yeah. Similar to Arjuna going down this more down, if we also go down through our individuality or ego, then we will be open to receiving the teachings and instructions.
If just the way Arjuna threw away bow and arrow, if we throw away our ego, then God will help us out.
If we throw away our ego,
Like Krishna.
any example? Nice to hear that. Example we want. Through example we try to understand. I was thinking about Papa's life, but there also he did not run away. He prayed and continued. He was subjected to go through failure after failure after failure after failure, and the creditors started shouting. At home also he was not leading a peaceful life. At that time he did not run away from any of these. He cried, he prayed, and then the prayer was heard. So we cannot say that he ran away. Along with that, he prayed. So that is the example that comes before us, or any other example. So here we saw a caterpillar. It is comfortable in its own position, but it doesn't want to come out. A boy who has been selected for something out of homesickness, he doesn't want to go. So these are something we can understand. Maybe that example may not be 100% okay, but something we are in a position to understand with our daily life. That means over-attachment prevents us.
Overpowering attachment.
Huh?
Overpowering attachment.
Overpowering attachment. Nice. Overpowering attachment leads to escapism. Children want to go.
Children want to go, the parents don't want to send.
Children want to go play. That may not suit us now, Okay. It is the other way. Okay. Children want to go abroad or take up studies, even in India, but parents want to have them in them. Okay. You can put it in the same way. Overpowering attachment. Tell them don't do it, you can have it here, all those escapism. Anyway, whatever we describe it. We have to see it through an example. Then only it becomes clear to us. An example drawn from daily life or from Mother Nature. Yesterday we saw the self is immortal, the body is perishable. From the seed. Because we have seen that the outer form of the seed goes away, dies. And the life comes out in the form of a sapling or a plant, and then a tree, then the flowering, then the fruition. Again it goes on. So we can understand this. And somebody yesterday said, constitution is there, governments are being changed, So it's something we can understand. Constitution remaining the same. Government led by some parties, they keep on changing. So every 5 years they are they have to go to the electorate. But constitution does not go to the electorate. The constitution is the one which empowers the parties to contest and become the government. So the self is immortal, body is perishable. So government goes, government comes. So through example, why we are mentioning, through example we are trying to understand. So that the Gita study does not become an academic one. Slowly is entering, correct. Need not be 100% along with that, but it will be 90%. And in family, the examples are very nice. Ravi's grandfather had a favorite wooden chair. For decades he would sit there sharing wisdom with the family. Over time, the chair's legs weakened.
Sharing the screen. Please stop sharing so that they can see.
So here the second one. First one, let us see how it is still, so many things are coming to us. The constitution is like the self, it remains constant, guiding the nation with its fundamental principle. It does not change with time, it is eternal foundation. The government is like the body, it changes over time. Different leaders come and go, policies shift, systems revolve, just like how our physical body undergoes change and eventually perishes. No matter how many governments change, constitution remains the guiding force. Similarly, while the body is perishable and temporary, the self is eternal and unchanging. This is how we try to understand. And family life, somebody has suggested, Ravi's grandfather had a favorite wooden chair. For decades he would sit there, sharing wisdom with the family. Over time, the chair's legs weakened, cushion wore out. Eventually it had to be replaced. But even after the chair was gone, Ravi could still feel his grandfather's presence, the love, the values, the stories he shared, and remained alive in the heart. The chair was temporary, but the love and wisdom self lived on. At their 25-year school reunion, Ananya and her classmates laughed about old memories. Many had changed physically. Some had grey hair, others had lost weight and gained wrinkles, but when they spoke, they felt like the same teenagers from school.
The one which is shared is the wrong one.
Huh?
The shared one is the other one. The shared file, is the other one. So we can share this.
No, the second one. This is not the first one.
No. Shared file, the one which is shared,
We are sharing the wrong document.
Here which we are sharing, and this thing is this one. So this we have to close it so that it can be shared. The correct one can be shared. Now we can share the correct one. So it will take the windows and this will take the correct one and share it. Now they will get it also.
Share, no same.
No, that's only the file was different.
At their 25-year school reunion, Ananya and her classmates laughed about old memories. Many had changed physically, some had grey hair, others had lost weight, gained wrinkles, but when they spoke, they felt like the same teenagers from school. Their laughter, friendship, affection remained untouched by time. Another aspect. Mr. Sharma, a dedicated teacher, retired after 40 years of service. His formal position was gone, and a new teacher replaced him in a second in the school. Yet, years later, his students still remembered his lessons, values, impact on their lives. Some became teachers themselves, passing on his wisdom. We all remember. That remembrance is fresh. We left school in 58, 59. How many years have gone by now? But even now, the teachers, many of the teachers, Malayalam Pandit, science teacher, the assistant headmaster, all of them are, whenever we share anything, they come before the mathematics teacher. We can never forget. And then the basic, in our first form, second form, teacher who taught us alphabets, A, B, C, D. Even after 30 years, 40 years, when he happened to be in Trivandrum railway station, we were coming, we went for some estate work. So I did not see. On the top of his voice, he was calling the old name, Gopal, Gopal. I said, who is now calling me? Nobody calls that name now. So when I looked back, I saw an old person, Anthony Master. I started running towards him. I am meeting him after 40 years. As soon as he came, he hugged me. Then he asked the same tone, the first person. And I said, how did you remember all this? He was our teacher in 53, 54, 54, 55, Such a long time. Then he said in Malayalam, you may not understand Malayalam. How can I forget you people? So this is what is remembered here. Even after years have gone, still something is there. Values they stand. Only things keep on changing. Love stands. Only keep on changing. So this is how we get some idea about this chapter. The chapter is the self is immortal, body is perishable. So instead of trying to understand the theme, suppose we go through these types of examples, we might be able to go nearer the truth. It is not straight away the answer, but we will be able to go nearer the truth. That which stays with us, that which comes and goes. This is the meaning, of that. By reading the term, we get this. We are reminded of that which stays with us. We are also equally conscious of that which comes and goes. So here, from the eternal from the ephemeral to the eternal. So if you are always conscious of the eternal, the reaction of the ephemerals will be less and less. So we try to go back, So this is how we are approaching the chapter. Not as an academic exercise. Today's life, how I can how does the refinement takes place? That means I must keep on brushing it and keeping it alive in my mind. Then that will have its own effect in my thoughts, words and deeds. Otherwise it becomes a knowledge. We are not interested in knowledge. We are interested in wisdom, applied knowledge. Other thing, we have been hearing. We go for lectures, we go for here, this Shastra, that Shastra, everything we have heard. What happened to us? Have we changed? Initially, we will all be prompted to do that. But a stage comes when we start thinking. Bhagavad Gita, we have heard about a lot. We would have heard lectures from so and so. But it has not still entered into us. Now we are trying to ensure that it enters. It enters means what? It's a flowery language. It means what? The theme is going slowly into our thinking system. That is why in the introductory portion it was highlighted that it is from me to me to him. My sons and Pandu's sons. What do they do at my sons? He is supposed to be impartial. He should say what? Our sons, Our sons, if he had said, no, we get my son and Pandu's son. Then we understand that he was the emperor, he was the man who has to give the final say. If he had given 5 houses, this war would not have taken place. When Krishna's mediation came up to even accepting 5 houses, Duryodhana said no, and whatever Duryodhana said, this Dhritarashtra had to put his. So that means his attachment, me and me to me and mine, That is the starting point. And ending point, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Tatra. Wherever there is Arjuna, wherever there is Lord Krishna and Arjuna, that means Lord Krishna, when Arjuna becomes aware of the presence of the sense of individuality, when it becomes aware of the presence of the indwelling reality, Lord Krishna, and when it accepts that everything happens only by the Lord's will, then there will be success, prosperity, peace, everything. So from me and mine to me to him. This is how we look at Bhagavad Gita. Simple. From me and mine to me to him. So this is the perspective with which we are approaching Bhagavad Gita. Workaday life, whether I am leading an individual life or an ashram life, or in somebody's case a family life, a retired life, a professional life, a social life, wherever we are. Whenever we come across any person, any object, any situation, whenever we feel we have to react, whether we are comfortable, they are comfortable. When we are not comfortable and when they are not comfortable, what is the adjustment I have to make to adapt, to accommodate, and so that the life becomes a blissful one. So at the end of the day, we want peace of mind, that's all. How does Bhagavad Gita help us? This is the perspective. That some instrumental cause should be there for this probing, this exploring, and Bhagavad Gita has been given to us for that. So we take it that Bhagavad Gita enables us to refine. Refining from what? The crudity of me and mine. And the refined one was our subservience to that higher power. More about it, we will take it up tomorrow. By that time, we will again go through and refresh the whole thing. Today there has been a little confusion, which might have created some confusion. So tomorrow we will try to start from the beginning with the new one. So first chapter also gives us. Previously we were not applying our mind, and when yesterday or day first today, when somebody said about chapter number 1, with that perspective we started looking, and suddenly we came, yes, it is also there. It is related to our very life, not merely to the Kurukshetra field. So from that again we will start tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam. Hari Om. Namaskaram.
Sunandala, Ravikala.
Ravikala aunty over here.
What is this?
Same caterpillar something. Caterpillar.
It's not clear.
We'll take it out again just now, something different. She's getting it over. So we can leave after we get it.
Whatever Gita is.
I'm slightly guessed. Good Gita, next to copy there. Next to copy there.